What's up, XRP family? Thank you guys for joining the video for today. So here we can see, guys, I believe the SEC put a stop to these plans. I bet Ripple expected the SEC to clear XRP just like they cleared ETH. But instead they were met with silence and later a lawsuit. But now the SEC lost the fight to stop XRP and it's finally cleared as a non-security TikTok. So this was always the plan of Ripple, right? By the end of 2018, major banks will use XRapid as a liquidity tool. And by the end of 2019, there will be dozens of banks using XRapid tool. Now, if you think about it, this lawsuit really paused the whole plan of Ripple going forward. So now you have to ask yourself, guys, that they have clarity, and like the only digital asset out there that really has clarity is XRP. It will still not be an easy road, right? Because there is still so many things that have to happen, right? Ethereum and Bitcoin are very big. It will still take a while to overcome these two, but it will surely happen. And there's still people that do not believe that XRP has actually this amazing use case. So here we can see blockchain to cloud was done last year in reference to prior post. So we can see here, guys, they're integrating tokenization with cloud and all that stuff. A globally connected ecosystem for rich tokenized payments information accessible via enterprise blockchain, universally compatible with legacy networks such as Swift and ACH, and new networks such as RippleNet and MasterCard cross-border services. Here you can see that there is a IP strategy and a patent, a globally connected ecosystem. So that's what we were talking about. And here we can see leading. This is all leading in the United States, by the way, guys. So this is a paper by Identity, which they have a lot of things about Ripple. And they also have some interesting stuff going on there. So here we can see, guys, Rosie Rios on intergenerational wealth transfer. Let's take a look. Very interesting video.
Generational wealth transfer that's going to go on. What do you think about?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. And if you're only thinking about it now, you're behind the 8 ball. The train has left the station. I keep saying that, and it's absolutely true, especially when it comes to this topic. So what people need to realize about intergenerational wealth is it's already happening, right? So we're talking about kind of, so the boomers, which is my generation, you know, we have the most discretionary income. But this next generation, basically, you know, the millennials, although it's pretty much anyone born in the mid-90s and later, you know, are going to inherit this opportunity to really think about investments in a totally different way. So when you think about those generations, so technically, you know, the millennials or anyone born between 1980 and 1996. But again, look, my son's 26, my daughter's 21. I call them the Robin Hood investor, right? But in reality, you know, these are kids who grew up with the internet, right? So anyone who's grown up with the internet, they see the world as very flat. It's no longer what they're taught at home, what they're taught in the classroom. It's what they see. It's what they've learned, the good, the bad, the ugly of the internet. They're very tech savvy, they're very confident, but they don't have the experience that perhaps a lot of wealth managers, financial analysts, managers, etc. need to really understand how to think about their investments. So for me, you know, it was very important that I get into their heads. My daughter's 21, my son is 26. When I left the Obama administration in 2016, after serving both terms, I studied these kids, I call them kids, for 2 years at Harvard. And I really want to understand kind of the social, political, economic way that they think and how they behave. And for them, you know, it's kind of this one and done world, right? It's set it and forget it. Right. Technology means everything to them. They're very, very confident, they're very progressive, and they're very savvy. But again, they lack a lot of the world experience that my generation still has. So even here now in this economic downturn, this unprecedented economic downturn, this is where, in my opinion, the wealth management industry has a huge opportunity. It's no longer about taking them out to golf and buying them dinner. It's really kind of thinking about how to use technology and information in a totally different way. So if you're not already on their app, on their phone, and that's how they access information, if you're not already there, you know, you're behind. You're behind.
Very interesting, right? Like, she's talking about the people who really are ahead of the game. And to be ahead of the game, you need to do research. You need to be able to understand what is really going on. Why is this whole XRP thing going on? Why will XRP change the world? Because of those things that we are seeing that could happen with using their token as for payments, right? Because there's a big hole in payments. And as you can see here, guys, there's this guy who is talking here about how he doesn't like XRP. Let's take a look here.
This is something that I've been invested in for a long time, and they've obviously had, they are going through some issues. How do you feel about XRP?
Full disclosure, I own some of Ripple equity, and it's been a painful trade because the company's stock trades like dog's breakfast, and they own 55% of the XRPs, and so one of the prices is wrong, right? If you think about XRP at what's it traded, $1.20 times 58 billion. That company should be worth $60 billion just because of the XRP they have on the balance sheet, but it trades at about 3 billion. And so something's way off. So I've never liked the XRP token because you've got one group that owns so much of it.
See, guys, this is the mistake that many people make, right? And I know where it comes from, because there is a legitimate issue with one party holding most of the coins. There is literally an issue with that. We have seen that in the past. This is not a good sign. But they're literally overlooking all the good things of Ripple. And now this was all before the lawsuit, right? You can clearly see now that Ripple is the only one that won a lawsuit representing a digital asset that has a use case. Now, people are overlooking all those things, and they're just looking at Ripple holding a large amount of XRP. There could be many reasons for that, guys, which is still to be unraveled. It still needs to be revealed, maybe, why Ripple is holding that much XRP. But nonetheless, this is something that you have to put in the good and the bad. If you put all the good things, you can see that the good things of Ripple and XRP in general outweigh the bad things, right? If you're being very objective, because of course we are the XRP army and we love to talk positive about XRP, but if you have to look objective at something and you would put the pros and the cons together, the pros would outweigh the cons. That's just how it is. That's just facts with if you go look at Ripple, especially now they won the lawsuit, right?
Not let alone you've got the SEC breathing down the necks of the two founders, the CEO, the founder, and the company. And so why is it going up? Crypto communities are like sports fans.
So what he's going to say next is basically not really that important and doesn't really matter. So, but I just want to show you guys that people really, that SEC lawsuit was really in the way, because it was a big con in people's eyes, right? Of course, we know better because we know that the SEC has some very dark things going on there. And we knew that XRP was going to win this, guys. Literally, we knew, right? We're just waiting for justice, and justice has prevailed. So here we can see Zoe Cruz, senior bank executive, former co-president of Morgan Stanley, and former Ripple employee. Very interesting. Let's take a look.
By the way, $200 adds to a lot of money.
Yeah.
But you're talking about 1.7 billion unbanked. 1.7 billion people don't even have a bank account, no matter how small the account is, and another 2 billion people underbanked.
Right.
So they chose a space that said, not only do you have people outside of the financial system, and XRP being used as the bridge currency, because it was designed for that, is a multi-trillion-dollar problem that if I solve it, I make a lot of money, I being Ripple, but also I make a difference. And frankly, the reason I am so excited to work with that company is they can change the world. So that's their mission. They're not going to, it's very expensive, by the way, to have railroad tracks that reinvent the way cross-border payments are being done. So they're lucky to have a balance sheet for such a worthy goal. Having said that, look, I used to be an options trader. Options are wonderful things to have, provided they're not too expensive. They understand that the ecosystem is being built, exchanges that are worthy of that word, as opposed to fly-by-night exchanges in the middle of nowhere. So they are putting some money in that optionality of if that infrastructure gets built.
Love how this woman breaks it down, guys. Very simple. And that's why she loves working with Ripple Company, right? Because they're solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem, and now they have also won the lawsuit. XRP has clarity. Now the takeover can really start. Thank you very much for watching the video, guys. See you in the next one. Cheers.